Oh my god, she's a weirdo.
Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. Again. I've just gotten back from the hospital. Good news is my gallbladder is going to be removed before the end of the year. There's other information I want to tell you, but I'll leave that to the end so that you can skip it if you want to. Foodie's last live, again, the one with the scooter. There was a few bits I missed this morning because I was a bit angry about the voluntarily choosing to be disabled business that I want to touch on. The first thing was the comment that she had made DV a joke, which she took literally because she's an uber smart person. The person wasn't suggesting you literally made a joke about DV, much in the same vein as why did the chicken cross the road. No, the comment was you've made a mockery of DV by over exaggerating the circumstances somewhat. Now, a lot of reactors are saying that the threats that Salah made were perfectly valid and were well within a response of being scared. And I don't disagree whatsoever. My issue is Foodie's very obviously performative reaction to this. She wasn't scared for her life. If you've watched her long enough, you know when she's being performative. Now, as somebody who used to have panic attacks, and I say used to because I didn't miraculously find a cure or miraculously found a medicine that helped, my panic attacks coincidentally only started when I met my husband and only finished once I left him. Make of that what you will. And speaking for myself and my personal panic attacks, but I suspect a lot of people who suffer from these will concur. While having a panic attack, there was one thing I couldn't do at all, and that was talk. I couldn't pause my hyperventilation long enough to get out a word, let alone entire coherent sentences. Foodie's performative panic attack was something you see in an 80s slasher movie. There was no authenticity to it. If you've seen or experienced a panic attack, you will know instantly the moment you heard the panic attack of Foodies that it was no such thing. So you, by performatively acting as if you are frightened for your life, has made a mockery of people who legitimately fear for their lives and ask for help. You are literally one of those people that claims RAPE when there is no RAPE. Yeah. You've made a mockery of it. You've made it a joke. You've trivialised the subject. That is what the person was trying to suggest. And while you didn't exactly say, please give me money, or your words, give me money, there's no please about you when you're asking for stuff, you might as well have You as good as did without using the actual word. As Karina Kaboom says, it's all about semantics. The amount of times during that live you mentioned not having enough money and needing money, you might as well put in ticker tape across your screen. If you really cared about me and wanted to keep me safe, send me enough money to leave earlier, up and around 10,000k. You didn't use the actual words send me money, but anybody with the proverbial 2 brain cells that you keep talking about would know that's exactly what you were doing. I would say, considering this whole thing, you should be ashamed of yourself, but you don't feel shame. You're very good at feeling sorry for yourself, but that's not the same thing. Every week, you do something that lowers you in estimation of other people. And quite frankly, I thought you had reached the depths years ago. But you, my dear, has no bottom when it comes to the depths you are prepared to go. So here you are, claiming you don't want to ask anybody for anything and you'd rather do stuff yourself, begging for money from other people so you can do stuff. That is the polar opposite of being independent. That is the polar opposite of doing things yourself. You, as a package, are, well, quite frankly, one of the worst women on YouTube. You are a special kind of human being. You should be studied by psychiatrists. You should be studied by biologists. You should be studied. And anybody by anything that is interested in the dark side of humanity. I've said this before and I say it again. If it wasn't for the fact you are lazy and rendered yourself practically immobile, you would have murdered somebody by now. And your cons, your scams, your tricks, your manipulation would have had huge repercussions on other people that you targeted had you been slightly more active in your endeavours. You could have been a really successful criminal. It's just your gluttony, your size, your laziness that was preventing you from succeeding in that particular arena. And we have to thank goodness that's the case, because there legitimately would be less people on the planet because of you had you been physically able to wreak the amount of chaos you want to, had you not fucked up your health completely. Now, gallbladder stuff. 2 to 3 months, I'm going to get the whole thing removed. for 2 weeks before the operation, I have to go on a liver shrinkage diet because my BMI is a stonking 34.4. Now, this diet is very low calorie, low carbohydrate, low fat, but moderate protein, and is about 800 calories a day. We're talking about a singular slice of toast for breakfast and 2 egg-sized potatoes during lunch with a matchbox-sized square of cheese. Sounds delicious. Or I can just have 3 meal replacement things a day as long as they don't exceed 200 calories. Foodie had her gallbladder removed. Now, unless it was an emergency removal of gallbladder, she would have been expected to follow a diet very similar to this to shrink her liver. I suspect that didn't happen. 2 weeks, 800 calories. That is not going to be fun. But at least at the end of it, the thing that causes me so much pain will be removed. Unlike Foodie Beauty, who I suspect could actually be immortal and was sent to us to punish us for all our sins.